But then who would be?
It's a big day. Jim Cameron, the famous movie director who has Titanic out, is coming in here to rap with us. That's considered a very, very big deal. It must be a big deal.
I don't think he's ever... I don't see him on Letterman or Leno.
No.
He doesn't do this stuff.
Yeah. I don't even know what we did to deserve this.
Here?
I don't know. I talked to a guy from Paramount yesterday. He said, be nice to our guy Jim Cameron tomorrow. I said, why wouldn't I? I'm a huge fan. I mean, this guy's made movies that I think are stellar.
Totally entertaining.
Yeah. He's something else, this guy.
He's the kind of director you like. He's not trying to impress you so much as tell you a story.
And Terminator 2 rocked. I mean, that was like better than Terminator 1. Mm-hmm. When those liquid...
One of those few times that a sequel betters the original.
How much money did the original Terminator make? Do you know? For Terminator 1?
No, I don't know. Something like $200 million, maybe?
First Terminator, this is kind of interesting, made $60 million.
You're kidding.
It was after everyone saw it on HBO and everything. The second one came out, and it made $200 million.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah. And now with Titanic costing $200 million... Everyone's like, well, how are they going to make that money up? But you saw it. I hear it's great.
Oh, you got to see this film.
Really?
Yeah, it's just an incredible, sweeping film.
I can't imagine working on a film and sending the budget up to $200 million. That's got to be a lot of pressure.
But you should see this film.
Really looks it, huh? Looks great. Are there a lot of special effects? All right, There you are. Sorry for keeping you waiting. The whole goddamn thing got delayed. You are one talented mother.
Thank you.
Let me look at you, man. Wow. What's it like, man? You see the movies in your head, or you see them? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything in my head. All I see is like nipple piercings in my head.
Right. Your movies are all about sex.
Yeah. My movies are just like I see sex movies in my head all the time. You know, it's kind of weird after doing Terminator 1 and 2 and doing True Lies, and all of a sudden you surprise everyone and you want to make a film about Titanic. And I remember when I first...
this incredible love story running through it.
Yeah.
This is totally... out of the genre, would you say?
Yeah. What happened? What, you got sick of making like action films and stuff?
Yeah, it's the old bait and switch.
Uh-huh.
You know,
just confuse everyone.
Fake them out.
And when you went to everyone and said, I want to make a film about Titanic.
You can imagine they were ecstatic.
Yeah, they were just like, that's and you could even see the headlines like Titanic sinks again and all that kind of thing, right?
Film sinks of its own weight. Film is a disaster. Blah blah blah. You know, you can the headlines write themselves.
And it's kind of a drag when like people start going, hey, it's a $200 million film. They're almost rooting for it to fail.
Right, because that whole Heaven's Gate thing starts to happen again.
Right.
I got to tell you something. I'm thrilled when somebody puts $200 million into a film. I want to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if it's a good film, I want to see it. I don't care what it costs.
Absolutely.
So what'd they think? Like, originally the budget was going to be, what, $100 million or something?
Yeah, we told them 120, and that's what we thought it was going to cost. And
you weren't lying to them. You just figured that's it.
No, in fact, that's why I wound up giving them back all my money, because I said, guys, I don't want you to think we lied to you just to get you pregnant and get you to make this movie.
Right. So in other words, like they came to you, made the deal, and you said, hey, you get a couple of million just for making the movie.
Right.
And you said to him halfway through the shooting or something, hey, here's the money back?
Yeah, exactly.
So you work for free?
Yeah, but...
No, but he gets a percentage of the gross.
No, I gave that back too.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
you make no money off this movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first choice, as you can imagine.
Well, hold it a second. Wait a second.
See, now...
Howard's reeling.
Yeah, you know what?
Maybe you're not so smart.
I got to tell you something. I've lost a lot of
son of a bitch out there.
I lost a lot of respect for you right now.
Ching.
No,
That's amazing.
How many years have you devoted? I'm talking about from conception to the end of this film. How many years have you devoted to this film?
Well, it was 3 solid years, pretty much from the time I finished True Lies.
Okay. And you had the idea. You worked on the script, I assume?
Yeah, I wrote the script.
You wrote the script yourself?
Yeah.
And then you went ahead and you shot this thing, and you've given back all rights to this movie.
Yeah.
You own nothing of this movie?
Nothing.
And you will make $0?
Well, I own the authorship of the film.
What does that
What does that mean?
It's, it depends on how much money means.
Well, I mean, how do you make money off the film? Don't you get a percentage?
I don't make money off this film.
You will not get a percentage of the gross?
I would have if things had gone the way they were supposed to. But, my philosophy is I take responsibility. The buck stops here.
Wow.
So for 3 years, not getting paid doesn't disturb you?
Well, I'm not going to be out on the street selling pencils.
No, I mean, you're a wealthy man from Terminator and stuff, but...
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I wouldn't say wealthy. Cause
really?
I have this habit of making movies for companies that then promptly go bankrupt and don't pay you.
Oh.
Yeah, right. What happened with Terminator? Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 to me are like the greatest films ever made. Right up there with Godfather. But, no one...
And still fascinating to watch. You know, some of these films wear out. You can still sit and watch either one of these movies.
I watched Terminator a week ago.
Yeah.
I've seen it 19 times. I mean, it's great. It is just a great film. I thank you for that film.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it brought me a lot of enjoyment. So when you... when you sit back and look at Terminator, what was that name of that company? Carolco or whatever?
Yeah, Carolco did Terminator 2.
Oh, they did. And you never got paid for that one either?
I got some money out of it, but they went belly up shortly after.
Could you get more than $5 million for that picture?
Well, let's not go into specifics.
Really, why not? I want to know.
I don't exactly remember. I get my upfront fee, and then we get it back in.
Because it's crazy for a guy like, if you're not making money in Hollywood,
Then nobody is.
And what if
Where's
there's
all
nobody?
this money
That's the
go?
answer. Nobody is.
I don't believe
Where
that.
does this money go? Because you hear now Terminator 2 made how much money?
$200 million.
Well, worldwide it made $500 million.
It did.
Yeah.
And nobody got any money?
No, we got some money out of it.
You get a percentage of the gross.
But the faucet got closed at a certain point, as
And how does a company that has that kind of a hit go out of business?
It takes a really, really dedicated mismanagement.
Sheesh.
And you're a pretty young guy when you think about it in terms of making all these great movies. Have you had any bombs?
Well, a lot of people think The Abyss was a bomb, even though it didn't
I thought it was
make money.
a cool movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool movie. I liked it.
Good. I'm glad. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's
But how do you get to be the director? I mean, where do you come from? How do you do that?
Hey, where'd you grow up?
I went straight from being a truck driver to being a film director.
Is that true?
Is what happened, yeah.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
Exactly. All you got to do is stand there and say, I'm the director.
Yeah, but did you go to film school or something?
No.
Nothing.
No. Well, what I used to do is I was working as a truck driver. On the weekends, I'd drive down to USC. I lived in Los Angeles.
Right.
Or I lived in Orange County at the time.
A truck driver?
Yeah, I was a truck driver. I'd drive down to USC. I'd go in, and for the cost of the Xeroxing, I would Xerox all these doctoral dissertations on optical printing and film stock, film emulsions, and all that stuff. Build up these big binders of how everything was done. I was like a total gearhead. So I gave myself a full college education for about $120.
Wow.
So you're saying your whole, while you were a truck driver,
Yeah.
you were just fascinated with sort of how they did special effects and that kind of stuff, but it was a hobby for you.
Yeah, it was a hobby.
You never dreamt of being a filmmaker?
Oh, no, I was starting to get serious about it. I
Right.
just hadn't busted a movie yet.
And how old were you at this point when you were being driving the truck?
24, 25.
Really?
I was married, lived in a little house.
And you're
white picket fence.
you were a regular guy.
I was a regular guy.
Regular guy.
living
Make it
a suburban
I'm still a regular
lifestyle.
guy.
Yeah, you know regular guy, buddy.
Nah.
I am a regular guy.
We'll talk about how unregular you are.
Yeah, don't worry. We know everything about you.
I was afraid of that.
There's nothing regular about you. You're doing exactly what I'd be doing if I had any balls. So you,
Oh, yeah, right.
yeah, it's
Hello.
true. Yeah.
Hello.
So you're telling me you're driving a truck.
Yeah.
How do you make the transition to be the director of?
Yeah, how do you get on a set?
And was your first movie Terminator 1?
I got hired to do this film called Piranha 2, and they fired me after 10 days.
And what did you get hired to do?
Direct it.
Direct it.
Yeah.
Piranha 2?
Piranha 2, yeah. It's the absolutely the best flying piranha film ever made.
Was it a Jaws ripoff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And who wrote that?
It was actually written by a guy who turned out later to be a great friend of mine.
Right. But they hired you based on what?
Based on, you got a second for a story?
Yeah.
I'm working for Roger Corman, right?
Right.
Low-budget filmmaker, and we're working on this horror picture called Galaxy of Terror.
Right.
And I had to do this scene where this guy's gotten his arm chopped off, and there's maggots on the arm.
Right.
But they don't really use maggots; they use mealworms.
Right.
So I'm doing this shot, and the mealworms aren't doing anything. I was a second unit director.
Right.
So it's my first big shot.
Right.
So.
And let me explain to the audience. Second unit director means the guy, he's not the primary director. He's the guy who goes out and shoots a lot of different
Anything
things.
the director doesn't want to do.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's the lowest grade cleanup stuff, right? So I'm doing this insert shot of this arm, and the worms aren't doing anything. So I took a piece of zip cord, electrical cord, and put it underneath the arm and buried it so you couldn't see it.
Right.
And there's a guy behind the set. When I say action, he plugs in the electrical cord.
Right.
All right. So now these two producers walk up behind me, and I don't see them, and they're watching me work, right?
Yeah.
They're sizing me up like maybe I can direct this low-budget horror film.
Right.
I go, okay, roll camera, all right, and action. All these worms come to life, start wiggling around. I say, okay, cut. The guy behind the set unplugs the thing, the worms stop moving. I look up, and there's these two guys looking at each other with amazement, and they're like, hey, you want to go to lunch, kid?
Well,
That's
yeah.
how I got the
Oh,
guy.
wow.
Any guy can make worms move on
Worms
command.
dance, yes.
That's pretty good. So you start doing some low budget stuff. Somebody takes some sort of interest in you and lets you do that.
Right.
And you have enough. You never even worked a movie camera or anything, and someone gave you sort of.
No, I
said,
was doing stuff. I
Yeah.
was great. I had the camera up on my shoulder.
You
I was
already
shooting
had
stuff.
gotten rid of the truck and.
Yeah, ditched the truck and ditched the suburban lifestyle and was,
But you basically you were self-educated. There was nobody really like
Right.
for you to jump into the movie industry. Because I wonder, how do you go from the truck to the directing
Right,
thing?
yeah.
Like, how do you even get that?
And what does your wife say when you say, I'm giving up my truck and I'm going to start working in Hollywood?
Because you
think
stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I need to put food on this table.
Yeah. That didn't come until I said, "Honey, I need the Visa card so I can buy some lumber to build a set."
Right.
You know.
Then they get
And then
nervous.
I think the exact words were, "It's over."
Right. So that was the end of your first marriage?
Pretty much.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Because you've been married 4 times.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, this is great.
she
I knew
married
you were
a
going to
truck
go
driver.
there. I knew you were
Well,
going
of
to go
course.
there.
It's interesting. That's interesting stuff.
Fascinating.
Right.
Fascinating. That's more fascinating than your films.
Yeah, forget the films.
I think. Do you already know what your next movie's going to be?
No.
You do not.
I don't have a clue.
Are you burnt out from Titanic?
Totally burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you'll get the Academy Award?
I doubt it. It sort of doesn't
Oh,
work that
no,
way.
come on.
Do you think you deserve it?
Well, you saw it.
Yeah, you got it.
Robin loved the
Please.
film.
Yeah, but I don't
nothing else out there.
Why'd
But
you
it doesn't
tap
work that
Leonardo
way.
DiCaprio, man? You should have asked me. I would have done it.
I know.
Look at my
You
face.
would never have been able to survive this shoot.
Really?
Never have been able. He could. If you had tried to put him in the water,
Yeah.
Yeah.
forget about it.
Well, let's
Really?
talk about. I mean, Leo hates water. I mean, he's like a Siamese cat. Getting that guy in the water took an act of Congress. Half our shooting day was, "Is Leo in the water yet?"
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you tell him to behave because believe me, he's got to thank you
But
for a lot.
that had to be tough.
Really?
Yeah.
Really tough. And I understand you were in the water directing.
I like swimming. I'd do it.
It wasn't swimming. It was being in freezing cold water.
This was freezing
Yeah, what
water.
do you see as my
water up to your neck.
What do you see as my next film? You know what I mean? Have you seen Private Parts?
I love Private.
You loved it.
I love Private Parts.
Yeah, I told Paramount. I had my agent call Sherry Lance yesterday. I said, "Hey, listen, I see all these other crummy movies being. Some of the movies they're nominating for Academy Awards really suck."
Right.
I said, I know there's not a chance in hell we could get a nomination because of who I am, but we won the Czechoslovakia Film Festival. Put it in there. What do we care? They're putting George of the Jungle in the package. Why not me?
Dark horse candidate.
That's all very dark horse.
That's,
so dark you can only see my teeth. But so what? I'll do it.
I say go for it.
Right.
You just got to work her though. You just got to work. You just got to work them.
So your
But
first.
what other movie do you think out this year compares to what you've done?
I don't know. I've been so busy finishing this.
You
film, I
haven't seen
anything.
anything.
I haven't seen.
Well, let
a
me
damn
tell
thing.
you, there's nothing out there.
All right, good. You heard it from Robin.
You think you're a genius? You think you're a genius?
No.
You do not?
No, just a messed up individual that, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be in a straitjacket.
When you decided to make Terminator 1, people thought you were probably out of your mind to put Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, though, right?
Right.
Because Arnold really had only done Conan the Barbarian.
Right.
He was like an oiled up loincloth guy.
Yeah, it
You
didn't
know, so
appear that he could do anything.
Everybody was handing the guy swords.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And nobody. I mean, here I had a role where he played it with his clothes on the whole picture.
You made his career, I would say, don't you think? I mean, you took him to another level.
I think it was a stepping stone for him that would have taken him more steps if he hadn't done that film. But he would have gotten there. I mean, you know Arnold, so you know what he's like.
Was there anybody else who could have played that role? Did you think of somebody else for that role?
I don't think, in retrospect, anybody else would have had the same
Did you write it
flash
for
that he
him?
had. No.
Did you write it for him? No.
When did you
And I didn't
determine?
change a word of it when I cast him.
When did you
Just
determine that Arnold Schwarzenegger should be the Terminator?
when he bought lunch. I took him to lunch and he bought.
But you knew, but you knew that he should be the guy.
No, it was one of those things where Arnold is going on about the script, and I really like this scene.
How did he see the script? Did you send it to him?
I sent it to him,
You
yeah.
sent it to him.
Right, and actually his agent sent it to him to play the other guy, the guy that Michael Biehn played.
Oh, really?
Oh, he could
Which
never
is
do
like
that.
30 pages of dialogue, and at that point, Arnold wasn't ready for that character, and he said that.
Still not at that point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, he is. He
no,
is. He is now.
he
He
knows
is
what
now.
he can do and what he can't do.
He is.
That's not a put down. I mean, he knows his ability.
Yeah, but he can do dialogue.
Yeah.
He just has to put it on little cards and put it up like on the windows.
Is that right? He has trouble memorizing?
Yeah, well, you know the scene in Terminator 2 where he's going on about how the Russians launch and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Skynet becomes aware.
Yeah, there's a lot of
August
dialogue.
29th, 1997, all that stuff. He had it all pasted up on the windshield of the car.
You let him do that?
Oh, yeah, he can do it.
Betty,
Well,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold does whatever Arnold wants.
I told Betty when we were shooting my movie, I said, some of these scenes I'd like to just paste up some cards because I like to work that way.
Yeah.
She goes, no, you're going to look like you're reading. I go, watch. I do this every day. I read stuff all the time. Started doing it. Felt like I was reading. I threw out all the cards and just
Yeah.
started doing it.
Right.
You know Marlon
Yeah.
Brando.
I'm no Marlon Brando.
I thought you did a good job.
You did? Thank
That's
you.
from the heart. I thought you did a really good job.
Well, maybe we'll hook up, man.
You got it.
Man, we'll do a nice movie together.
I love the moment where you're walking along on the college campus and you go, yeah, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
But see, that's so great because you get inside the audience's head at that moment. And
That was key, because otherwise I would have been laughed out of the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
me as a
you
college
better get
student.
in.
did you guys put that line in later, or was that like in the script from the beginning? I mean, you anticipated that problem, or
That was right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right from the
because
beginning.
it works beautifully.
And I think I have to credit Ivan Reitman with that line.
Is that right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He recognized that problem right from the beginning.
He said, "Look at you." I really have to credit him with that.
Yeah. Well, with digital effects, we could have made you look, like you were still in college.
So, yeah, you know how to do all that effect stuff. Ivan said, "You're just going to look nice and old, and we'll just tell everyone we know you look old."
This is how I mess up, because I go, okay, we could do about $500,000 worth of digital effects here, and Ivan's like, but you could write a line.
Yeah.
Pay some writer $10.
I mean, the effects are unbelievable. I hear Titanic, the effects are incredible. But
gotta see it.
Because I look at all your movies.
Well, first of all, just recreating the Titanic. And, I mean, you really feel like you know this ship, because the first moment that I see it on screen, I'm like, is that the Titanic? Is that what it really looked like? Because you just heard about this thing. You never really see it.
Right.
And so you actually get to see the Titanic.
Yeah, this is a film worth seeing from what I hear from everyone.
Yeah.
Gorilla
And
said his
it
girlfriend
is-
cried for a half hour.
It is incredible. This ship was so beautiful.
Tony, the hair person, she told me she saw the coming attraction. She cried during the coming attraction.
Yeah,
That's
well,
how real
you know
it
what?
was.
When I first heard that Titanic, they were making the movie Titanic, I was like, who
Yeah.
wants to see
Boring,
that?
yeah.
And then I saw the trailer, and I thought, oh my God, there's a story here.
Yeah,
And
good.
It's really good.
So, Robin, did you cry? Tell me.
I cried.
Did you really cry?
It's heartrending.
Did you cry?
Yes.
Because you're heartless.
I am, but they found it in me.
I bet you I cry. I cry at movies. I bet you were crying when this thing went on and on and on shooting it, right?
I was crying frequently.
Yeah.
The studio was crying. Everybody cried.
You edit these things yourself, or you have a guy who does that?
I worked with two other editors. We split it up like 1/3, 1/3.
And what's the favorite part of making the film? Is it out there shooting, or is it when you're in the editing room?
It's working with the cast.
It is.
Working with the cast. It's being on the set and seeing them do something that you totally could never have predicted.
And when
It's so beautiful.
And when Paramount and the other studios start coming around to take a look at this thing, and you haven't put all the special effects in yet and all that, do you grow weary from it? Do you sit there and go, I have to explain to them that this special effects goes in here and this and that and the other thing, or are they a big pain in the ass?
No, I learned on Terminator 1, never show it until it looks like something.
Oh, so you do? You
Yeah,
get to
'cause
wait.
I got burned big time on that film, showing it before it was ready. So I showed it to them when I was ready to show it, and the effects weren't done and stuff, but they really responded to the film.
They got it. And
Got it.
let me ask you about this rumor. Are you supposed to do Spider-Man the movie?
I want to do Spider-Man.
Oh man, if you do, that would just kick ass. Are you going to do Spider-Man?
I want to do Spider-Man, but the rights are all messed up.
Why are the rights messed up? Marvel owns them?
It's one of these bankruptcy things. You got all these companies that acquire the rights and they go into bankruptcy. Then they owe money to everybody, and the rights have value. And
I would kill to see a good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, I wrote the script. I'm ready to go.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it rules.
Oh,
Now, how does this
damn
stuff
it.
come to you?
You would do that next?
Absolutely, I would do it in a heartbeat.
But how does it come to you?
I
How
don't
did
know if
the
it's going to
whole-
happen.
Who plays Spider-Man? Peter Parker, in your mind?
Oh,
Give me an idea.
actually, I was talking to Leonardo about it.
Really? Leonardo?
Yeah.
He's good.
He's a bit of a
You
pussy.
haven't- No, you haven't seen this guy move.
Yeah?
You haven't seen this guy move.
He's pretty good.
He's got body moves that are amazing.
Really?
For a white guy, yeah.
No
incredible.
kidding.
Yeah.
He's white?
Unbelievable.
Yes, he is white.
Yeah.
Where do these ideas come from? I mean, where do you, this Terminator whole,
Well,
the whole
I thought you were asking me where my
future
ideas
world-
come
No,
from,
yeah.
Robin.
Please, I know
I'm
where
getting a
yours
little
come
tired
from.
of kissing James's ass.
I
was
know
like,
where your ideas come from.
Mine come from the sewer.
I've been there.
Yeah, I pray to Satan, and I kill a lamb, and then get more ideas.
Right.
Isn't it amazing, the whole process? You don't know where your ideas come from. You're not a religious man, are you?
No.
You think God put them there or something?
They come from dreams, so wherever dreams come from.
Wow.
You
dream this stuff up.
doing Spider-Man would be exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. They screwed up the last Batman. I saw it coming.
My pal Arnold was in that film. I cannot comment.
Talk about it. You saw it. Did you go to the premiere?
I saw the first third.
Yeah, and you walked out, right?
No, I saw it on tape, so that's not really a fair.
And you knew it
fair.
sucked in the first 10 minutes, didn't you?
I didn't care for it.
Right, yeah. It was all wrong.
But
You need a story no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And comic books have great stories. They really do. I love comic books. I still read them.
yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're real cool.
I mean, I started, in high school. Always behind my math book, I had a comic book, and I was drawing from. I was learning
Yeah.
to draw from that.
Are you a good artist?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I used to make money doing that.
Terminator 1 comes along in your life, and here you are. You're pretty much like a regular guy. You're not making any money. Suddenly, you're the toast of Hollywood, right?
Right.
All right. Your first marriage is over.
Right.
You make Terminator 1, some dough starts to pour in, right? What do you buy first? You buy a nice house?
A car. Come
a
on.
car.
Fast car.
And you're dating, right? I mean, you must date your ass off at that point, right?
Who are you dating?
Who do you date at that point? Now, you got married a second time?
Yeah, I married my producer from Terminator, and then
no kidding.
and then we did Aliens. Yeah,
You know what your problem is? You fall in love on every
I fall
set.
in love. You see, I'm an idiot.
No, that's not an idiot. That's totally understandable to fall in love on the set.
Especially when you're doing all this great stuff together.
Yeah. But isn't it bad when you come home from each movie and you turn to your present wife and go, listen, honey, I'm in love with somebody new?
I've never done that.
You've never done that? What do? You just walk out? How do you tell them each time?
I have my lawyer call. No.
Oh, do you really?
No,
See, that's the way I would do it.
No.
That's not a bad way.
Yeah, just have a third
See,
party.
is this a
step
fantasy
in.
for you? Like, how do you get out of this?
Well, no. I'm so happy. Joe Theismann, I think it was, had his accountant call.
The accountant.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cold.
That's wrong. You don't like
That is
that.
cold.
You don't go along with that.
No.
So what did you have a bunch of kids? You have kids?
I have a daughter. She's 5 with Linda.
Oh, with Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that was
That's
a
your
good
only
move.
child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still with Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, we just got married
When did you get married?
last summer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the one day I took off out of the whole post-production on Titanic.
That's Linda Hamilton from Terminator.
From Terminator and Terminator
Yeah.
2. Now, you
She's
two
a nice
didn't
piece
fall
of
in
ass,
love,
man. I'd like to get in her pants too.
But
I don't
they
blame
didn't
you,
fall
man.
in love in the first movie.
Yeah.
You fell in love on the second movie.
No, she didn't like me on the first time.
I heard you. I heard you're very difficult. I mean, I heard you're a prick on the set. Absolute prick.
It's yeah. Rumors of that are slightly exaggerated.
You
I
yell.
can be a jerk.
You yell. You scream.
No, I never scream, and I never yell at the actors.
Right.
You know, that's the thing that gets really misunderstood because that doesn't get you anywhere. I mean, you got to be you got to bond with the actors in some way psychologically. You got to
marry them.
You got to sometimes you got to marry them. If that's what it takes, whatever it takes to get a good performance, I'll do it.
Hey, I would do that too with Linda. I would marry her. Hell, I'll marry Arnold. I don't care.
Well, I'm a dummy. I marry her, and then we don't work together after that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, she must be really happy with that. She'd rather not be married to you and work.
Right.
Yeah, maybe she got another job out of it.
Yeah, and she must have been thrilled. She figures she's marrying a rich guy. He doesn't have a piece of Titanic.
Yeah,
She must be really psyched.
Well, that's what I told her. I said, honey, think this through now. We're getting married. You know I'm giving up all my money on Titanic. Plus, I've gained about 20 pounds in this long post-production.
Right.
You're marrying me when I'm broke and fat.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be love.
Got to be love.
Got to be love.
What about your business manager, your agent and stuff? When you give back...
I don't have those guys.
You don't have an agent?
I blew them off because I knew they'd just be an impediment.
Well, they had a freak when you would give your money back, break your deal and say, here, studios. Do you think the studios were laughing at you for doing that?
No. It was a tough situation for everybody.
Right. Because they were worried that you were going way over budget.
It was a ton of dough. I mean, imagine the pitch on this film, okay? I go in, I sit down with these guys, and I say, I want to make a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
It takes place in 1912. It's a period costume drama. It's a movie about feelings.
Right.
It's going to cost you $100 million plus, and there won't be any stars in it. What do you think, guys?
Yeah. And they go for it because of your track record.
Yeah, because because we've walked the tightrope before.
Yeah.
But when we've walked it before, it hasn't gone significantly over what we said it was going to cost.
So you're feeling the pressure of making it $200 million. You want this film to make money back for the studio. You desperately want to. Not that it means anything to you in terms of your own financial picture, but you just want to have a success.
It's an honor thing, and so I've been out really stumping for the movie. But
Right.
I got to be perfectly honest. I'm here today because it's fun.
It is fun.
Because frankly, I don't know what's going to happen, but I've wanted to meet you for a long time.
Oh,
And
great.
This
Well,
is a trip.
I'm thrilled.
That's nice.
I'm thrilled to hear you say that, man. I'm just a huge fan of yours. Seriously.
I wanted to come in on True Lies, but you got Arnold, so you scored bigger. So
I would love to have seen you on that. You should have just come in.
I know I should have.
Yeah, and you're friends with Arnold? You hang out with him?
Yeah, we ride bikes. On
Oh, no
weekends.
kidding.
Yeah,
Is that what you do with him?
yeah, motorcycles.
Jesus, I don't have any big friends. I swear to God, I'm so not
you
a
don't
part
ride
of that.
bikes.
I would. Oh, you're talking about a bicycle?
No. That would require actual cardiovascular energy,
Right.
which
You
I
just
would
want to
never
sit on a-
expend on something that had nothing to do with a movie.
You go over his house and stuff?
Yeah. Well, he swings by my place. We jump on I jump on my motorcycle. We go
Yeah.
out and ride around the hills. And,
Right.
We're buddies.
Hey, he must love you, though, man. I mean, he must really love you because, even now, I'm sure he's looking for a hit. He probably just wants to get in on your next movie, right?
No. It's not like that.
No?
It's not like that. I mean, he calls me up for advice on stuff that he's shooting. He was he had just gotten out of the hospital with his heart thing.
Right.
And I was getting hammered by the press. And he called me up from his sick bed.
Right.
With a new heart valve, right, to console me about the press and to tell me that it was all going to work out and
Hey,
everything.
he seems like a real good guy.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. All right, here. Some people have
Nice
some
to have
questions
good
for
friends.
you. Yeah. We don't have any. Mel.
We have friends.
We don't have friends. When you do what we do for a living, you don't have
can't
friends.
have
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to know us. Oh, I went to a big Hollywood party. I went to a big Hollywood party the other night. I was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say you have somebody swinging by your house.
No,
But
I
you
didn't get to
Pick you
ride
up on a
motorcycles.
bike and calling you to console you when things go bad.
You're on the air.
Hi, I would like to ask Mr. Cameron about in Terminator 1. during the love scene. The shots seem to be somewhat disjointed, discontinuous.
Yeah, stylistic thing. That's called jump cutting.
Okay, because a lot of people suppose that perhaps you were using a body double for Linda.
No. Linda did everything.
And then the other question.
Linda did
that was a stylistic thing. I wanted to, most love scenes are like, slow, lingering dissolves. They all look the same. All love scenes look the same. So I wanted to do something that looked a little different because the whole movie had a different feel to it. So that was jump cut. It was a stylistic thing,
Yeah, that's
some
cool.
people get it. Some people
So wait a second. So then you make Terminator 1, and you marry the producer. I've got to go know this history. No wonder you have no money. You probably paid out tons of alimony. You've had to split 50-50 each time?
No. In that particular case, she was way wealthy, and
wow,
she didn't want to.
Oh, you should have kept her.
Yeah,
I'd keep her and give away all your money.
No matter what I say, I sound dumber and dumber.
I'd keep her and just cheat on her. So you marry her, you fall in love.
Because that's your style.
How long
we all know.
Right.
What a big.
Yeah, that's the way I am. So, and how long were you married to her?
I think it was 3 years.
Does your mom and dad call you up and yell at you and stuff, or are they dead or something?
No, they're mystified.
They are, right?
They're mystified by the whole process.
Yeah, they must think like, what
like,
have they been married their entire marriage?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what do you say when you're
married their entire marriage?
You know what I mean? Married their entire whatever. You know what I mean?
50 years or something.
50
like
years,
that.
something ridiculous.
Some inconceivable amount. I make it 50 months, maybe. I'm happy.
But what do you do when your son is this major director? How can they tell him anything? They thought they had raised a truck driver.
Right now.
Right.
They didn't know.
They totally blew it because they made a big mistake then.
So, and did you go into therapy and get shrinks and all kinds of stuff over
I've
this?
never done that.
Never did it.
Never.
I just did what you had to do.
I'm sure there's a lot of people around me that would prefer that I would do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They think you're insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
usually in a good way, sometimes in a bad way.
with the third wife, how do you end up getting married again?
Well,
what movie was that?
It wasn't off a movie.
Oh, this was something else.
We were just buddies. She's a director,
right?
And absolutely beautiful. You know,
right.
Catherine Bigelow. She directed Strange Days and Point Break. You know, the Keanu Reeves film. And
fell in love with her. It happens.
You know, it's a love thing.
You don't believe in just dating. You marry.
I just go straight to marriage.
You're
It's
like Larry King in a way.
I can't get a date.
Yeah.
I can't
why
get a
does
date,
he
so I gotta
always
propose.
Fall out of love.
Because a lot of guys. Like, can I? No.
If he's so into love.
Oh, she's on the hard part.
What happens, Howard?
Because what happens with some guys, I know, like with me. You meet someone and you're in love.
Right. Okay,
And you think, well,
I
this is
understand
it.
that part.
You get married because you figure there's nothing better than this.
But now you've done it twice.
Yeah, now we're up to number 3.
You know that it ends. You have this thing that where, it ends. So you go and it happens to you the third time. You're now in love. Why doesn't something say, wait a minute, I made this mistake before. Let me wait it out a little while.
James a messed up guy. That's it.
No.
Right.
What happened to me, anyways? It took me 3 times to realize that you got to fight for it.
Right.
That you can't be judgmental in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now this may be obvious to a lot of people, but it
Not to
wasn't
me.
obvious. The second it wasn't working for me, boom.
You were
You know
out.
what I mean? And then the second it wasn't working between me and Linda was about 8 minutes into the relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got that all over with.
I either learned to work it out or it was over.
Well, yeah, I
You know what
thought
And that
you
was 6
two-
years ago.
Right.
But you two, I thought, had broken up.
Oh, many times.
Who?
Many times.
He and Linda.
You're kidding me.
Many times, over and over.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
it was
lost
a
count.
big surprise.
30 times, maybe.
You're having a great life.
Big surprise to everybody.
I'm serious.
This is the most fun life I've ever had.
I think it's fantastic.
Oh, Lord. It
think
was
it's
a
great.
big surprise to everybody when they got married.
Right.
Because they had broken up again.
It was a big
you're-
surprise to us.
And Linda Hamilton, your wife, is a twin, isn't she?
Yes.
And do you ever think about getting a sister in this act with you? Is that possible to do?
To me, they don't even look the same.
Oh, really? You can tell the
they're
difference.
really different people. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
I mean,
that.
they're identical twins, genetically.
Yeah.
But to me, they're just totally different people.
No desire to get them both in bed at the same time?
No.
Really?
That's strictly a Howard fantasy.
Really?
I don't go there.
So it seems to me every time you get a chick, you marry her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
But you think you're going to struggle through with this one.
Oh, yeah.
And just work it out.
Well, that's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
All right.
we're dialed in now.
Really?
I think, we got it squared. Well,
What was it like when you came home to your third wife and told him, look, I'm in love with Linda Hamilton. I'm going off with her. Did she
Ouch.
kill you?
ouch, bad time.
Ready to beat your ass?
Bad.
Because this
Low
was a
point.
friend of yours.
Low point.
Yeah, did you have a prenup?
There you go. That's it.
Did you
No,
ever-
that's me. That's me.
Did you have a prenup?
No. Oh. No. I know. See, how many mistakes can one person make and consider themselves halfway intelligent?
Career-wise, you've never made a mistake, though. Yeah, what is it?
Well, we'll see. Let's see what Titanic.
Yeah, let's see
does.
what Titanic
They're
does.
rushing to get Jim out here because he's got to be on a plane.
Oh,
A plane?
here.
Very soon.
I don't want.
Oh, really? You got to
There'll be
leave?
another plane. Oh no, I got to go meet President Zedillo in Mexico.
Is that right?
Yeah, they shot the movie in Mexico.
It's been a strange 24 hours because I was with Tipper Gore last night at this fundraiser.
Yeah.
And then you this morning, and then the president of Mexico.
Yeah, how do I fit
tonight.
into the picture?
This is the high.
Well,
sorry, this is the high point.
It's nice of you to
This is
come
the
in
high
here,
point.
actually.
Thank you very much.
Ask the president of Mexico, why the hell the peasants can't get any money, and every goddamn government official
Where is the money?
is almost corrupt.
Yeah. Well,
And then watch them kill you, and that'll be the end of it.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Then I won't have to see the film open. I won't have to have a disappointment.
I'm anxious to see the
I don't
movie
think you're gonna be
Titanic.
disappointed first to see the film, to see the ship, and then to actually,
Have a
they
story.
explain to you
Yeah.
how Titanic goes down, and then you see it. It's amazing.
Is it amazing effect?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
gotta
I've
see
heard.
it.
I know. Well, I was supposed to go see it yesterday.
This is your kind of film. It's
And you
sensitive.
get
It's
to know.
compassionate.
When's it open?
Yeah.
Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Oh, no
Yeah, you
kidding.
get to know all these people, so you really
Yeah.
care about what's happening to them as this ship starts to fall apart.
Yeah, I'm.
Amazing.
I'm really pulling for you. I think you're a great filmmaker, and you deserve a lot of success. And everything you've done up until this point has just given me a lot of pleasure. So.
And this is,
Yeah.
it's a wonder, especially because of the historical significance of it. It's a wonderful film.
Yeah, and I hope you make Spider-Man next, man. That would just
That'd be a trip,
That
wouldn't
would
it?
just be great.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
just be really cool. James Cameron, thanks for coming by, man. I really appreciate it.
It's been a trip. Thanks.
All right, we'll be back right after these words.
When I look at what else was being touted as possible nomination for Best Picture, I think this it's because it's just sweeping. It's epic. It's just really incredible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I said, you've got that same onus as, you make action films, or these aren't real art. But this is a really beautiful film.
Yeah, it's like you can only do one or the other.
Right,
You
yeah.
can only do an action
Right.
film, or you can only do a dramatic
That's
film.
right.
You can't do both.
No, this is incredible.
Exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Good luck with that. Great
Yeah,
meeting
good
you.
luck to
Thanks
you.
for coming in.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jim, if it's okay, this is unprecedented. We're going to have you do an ID in the elevator on the way down because you're such a busy and
Great.
Busy executive.
Normally it's done in the studio.
I don't create my schedule. It's guys like this, that figure we can do that. We got an extra 2.5 minutes. We can do that. Yeah, we can slip that in.
You want to read it, and then we get in the elevator. It'll be a good audio
Okay.
for you.
Now, you want me to read this or just sort of you just riff on this?
No, whatever you want.
They sort of write IDs for the guests.
Ah.
And if you want to do it straight, fine. If you want to tweak it, whatever you want. All right.
All right, James.
Okay, stand by. Let him close first, man. All right.
All right, go ahead.
I'm James Cameron, the director of Titanic, I work really hard, and there's a great deal of responsibility in what I do on my films, and so I can really relate to Howard Stern because he works really hard as well, and I think I understand him psychologically now, because he works the same kind of hours that I do.